show tonight on MadhouseTV.com. You know myself, Nicole Marie LaMonaco, and of course, Benny Rizzuti. We're here with Joey Kola.
Hi, guys.
Woo!
How are you?
Welcome
Good
back.
to be back.
Man.
And every time I do your show, I got to wear a black shirt because I haven't lost the weight yet.
Slimming, and I like the lines are going
there
down.
you go. Get some, some vertical lines.
I'm not
Horizontal,
worried
no
about
good. There you go. You're wearing tan. You blend in.
I blend in, yeah.
No.
I don't look as fat as I
He's
am.
so worried about it, too. He's like, you think I'm going to blend in? And I'm like, no, you'll be fine. And like,
So we know, yeah.
If anybody was hunting you, they'd never see you. And that's because you were
Just like a
just
little head.
blended. And you got those tan rocks behind you. Look at you. She's got the blue. She's got purple hair.
Yeah.
She's got, boom,
I
bang,
popped
stands
today.
out. You? Where are you, Benny? I lost you.
bland,
Benny,
yeah.
where are you? Where are you?
The invisible Mama Luke.
you look like all you need is that hat, and then you could be on safari with like.
There you go.
from
You're a
Jumanji.
safari guy. You can do the Trail of Kilimanjaro in Disney World. When you go to the Animal Kingdom and they take in, oh my God, we're being attacked by poachers. Oh my God. The same thing. Every time you go around, it's the same thing.
Oh.
I haven't been there in so long. I don't remember.
I love it. I'm a Disney freak. I
Are
love
you?
it. Yeah.
What's your favorite Disney movie?
My movie,
Yeah.
Jungle Book, is my favorite character is Baloo.
Aww.
Then right behind that, Jiminy Cricket is my second, and then all the dwarves. So everybody,
Everyone
all of
has
us
dwarves.
have all 7 dwarves in us. Especially when I eat, I sneeze, so I get a lot of sneezy. I really do. After I eat, I sneeze.
Really?
My record's 43 lasagna. Yep.
After I eat, I get sleepy.
Do you really?
Yeah.
See that? See, you're a dwarf. See that?
And
what
we
do you?
know I'm dopey.
Yeah.
Look at how I dress. Look at how I dress. I'm changing my shirt in the
There you
commercial.
go. You better change that shirt in the commercial break.
I am. I'm gonna.
Oh, that's funny.
You were talking about Jungle Book. I used
Yeah.
to have that soundtrack album.
Did you really?
And I used to love the song that Baloo sang. I want to
Yeah.
be like you.
I want to walk like you, talk
Talk
like
like
you.
you.
But with Luigi Prima sang that, where he played the voice of the orangutan. I got a whole Disney thing that I play every Sunday while I'm making pancakes.
Really?
Yeah, I got it on an iPod. My daughter knows I'm in a great mood when she wakes up to Disney music. Look for the bare necessities, the simple bareness. I go from right to that, to Color of the Wind, to Beauty and the Beast, all of it. I listen to about 20
greatest hits
Disney
of
songs.
Disney?
Yeah,
Really?
it's insane. Yeah.
That's funny.
It's fun, but it's a great thing. It puts me in a good mood, you know.
That's
I love
That's
Disney.
how I felt about The Lion King. I saw that movie 8 times in the movie
There you
theaters
go.
when it first came
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
and then I saw it again when they re-aired it or whatever, let it go again, and I was like obsessed with you
Yeah.
know, I just can't wait to
be king.
That was my
Everybody
jam.
move left. Everybody move right. And then I always have like a good thing. I always have my little sound effects and stuff to go with it.
Do you make your pancakes in the shape of Disney
I'm not
characters?
that good.
Any
I'm
Mickey
not
Mouse?
that good. I
At
try.
least Mickey Mouse
A little
pancakes?
Mickey Mouse I can do.
Okay.
I can put the 2 little ears up and
There
then do
you
the.
go.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But I love things like that make me feel good. Favorite movie is It's a Wonderful Life. I love The Wizard of Oz, all that stuff. Willy
a
Wonka
great
and the
movie.
Chocolate Factory with the original one with
Yeah,
Gene
with Gene
Wilder.
Wilder.
You know, I got all those songs and stuff. Because I don't know what it is, but now that I'm going to be 54 in October, I revert back to my past a lot. Like I had great years when I was like from 7 or 8 to like 15. Were like great years when you were riding your bike and in the woods and playing hockey and football and baseball and chasing rabbits and climbing trees and all of that stuff. And it's not there anymore. I wonder what kind of a kid I would be. Would I be one of these on this now if that was developed in the 70s? Or would I be out in the yard chasing frogs and turtles and crickets and,
Oh my God.
and
Yeah.
These kids today,
grasshoppers?
they're
and
missing out. They really are.
They
have
really
no
are.
The
idea.
lightning
Yeah.
bugs at night. we
Lightning
used
bugs
to get
at night. I used
put
to
'em
get
in
a
Yeah.
jar and
Oh,
put them
yeah.
in and let them go.
It was
And
so
we
simple.
had grasshoppers. I grew up in Bayshore, not
Yeah.
far from you.
Right.
And we had toads, and I would catch tadpoles and put them in a big fish tank, and I'd grow them to toads, and then let them go. 75 of them, 75 toads hopping on the grass, you know, and I'd catch snakes, and I had an eel. I went into a stream, because eels are salt water, and then when they breed, they come into freshwater streams, and they had their babies, and they go back out into salt water, so they go from this big to like this big. I had an eel in a tank, and I would feed it worms, and I had all kinds of corn snakes, and garter snakes, and water snakes, and pets, and I actually raised 2 quails in a
Wow.
20-gallon tank in my living room. I was into cars and motorcycles, and I was into all this crazy stuff. And now as I get older, I I was successful in raising 2 kids, and I'm still with my wife, 34 years married, 28
God bless
this year, and everything's good. I have no vices. I don't really drink or anything. Chocolate's my only vice.
Yeah.
And cannolis every once in a
There
while.
was- I saw him at a club for his birthday, so I want to buy him a shot. And what did we drink? Some chocolate drink.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
George's
Yeah,
birthday
like-
Yeah.
cake shot.
We
Like
drink-
minus 2% alcohol.
Yeah,
or
like
something.
Godiva, I think.
Yeah,
Like Godiva chocolate
I'm like,
shot.
Joey, we're doing a shot for your birthday.
Yeah.
I love this. This is great stuff. And I'm like, this is chocolate syrup.
Yeah. Which is I like too. Fox's You Bet for the original Brooklyn one. I still have that. Every once in a while, I still make chocolate ice cream. I mean, chocolate egg creams.
Oh, really?
I
those are
still do
good.
that with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, Wonder Bread, grape Welch's jelly, and Skippy peanut butter. You got to do that.
That's good. I've
It's-
been on a root beer float kick lately.
Oh, my
Oh,
favorite
that's
drink is
nice.
rum and root beer.
Really?
Nicole, I'm telling you, you gotta get ice, rum, and then just put put some root beer in there.
Rum and root beer?
Rum and root
Yeah.
beer is the best.
All right.
Oh, I gotta
I'm
try
gonna-
that.
I'm definitely
Yeah.
gonna try that.
Yeah,
Well, now you know the drink to buy him.
there you go.
Rum
Rum
and
and
root
root beer.
Bacardi, yeah, Bacardi Dark Select and a little bit of root beer. That's
Oh,
what I
really?
have. Yeah.
I'd like
So,
that.
but that's what I every Sunday morning when we're making pancakes, or Saturday morning I listen to Disney songs. I built my backyard like a little resort area. It's not big, but I got a little pool back there, and I painted my shed. I got a typical shed, but I painted it like pastel green and pink and yellow. So you think you're in like the Bahamas when you go in my backyard, and there's big shells around and everything.
That's
So when you
awesome.
go in my backyard, there's like these huge arborvitae trees, like they're like 30 feet high, and it blocks the wind and the sound and everything. So sometimes when it's warm and like in the summertime, I put the Disney music in the backyard. We eat some breakfast and eat lunch in the backyard. Sometimes we have crabs and I have pasta in the backyard.
that's
So we'll
nice.
be eating crabs and pasta with the Disney music going.
That's
it's the
awesome.
best.
I'm hungry. I'm talking
There
to
you
this
go.
guy.
There
I
you
know.
go.
You know what? Isn't there something so satisfying about having pasta
Outside. It's the greatest thing in
Right?
the world.
Isn't
We
it?
just
It's
had
just
some
like-
friends over from Queens. Actually, they're from Long Island, but they live in Queens. And we had linguine and clam sauce, but the little toggle shells, those little ones,
Oh,
that,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
like
yeah.
the little green ones that they're selling now, originally like from Portugal. And my wife went crazy with a garlic and butter and white wine and just went nuts with linguine. And she made like 2 pounds of it, like this here, 3 or 4 loaves of garlic bread. We had a little bit of antipasto before that. But to bring out a big bowl of pasta outside, and you're eating the clams and everything outside, the sun's
It's
out.
just-
It's the
it's
greatest thing.
great.
But it's how we were all raised that way, too, right?
Yeah, well, but I was raised where we ate outside, but it was in Brooklyn. It was like in the backyard of like a building, on cement. But we ate outside on old wooden tables and
So
stuff.
you have it, like a...
But speaking of being outside eating pasta, quick little funny story. You should try this with your family sometime because
Okay.
it's a ton of fun. You should too. You get a table, you invite all your whole Italian family over, everybody over, and you get a plastic tablecloth.
Right.
You get that thick plastic tablecloth.
Yeah.
You put it on the table outside. You make your pasta, and you use no plates, no forks, no nothing.
No.
Yep. And
Really?
we take the pasta right out of it, and we each get lines of
What
pasta.
kind of pasta?
Usually it's linguine or
Yeah,
spaghetti or something you could slurp. And we put it in lines on the table, right? Everybody puts their hands behind their back, and we have pasta eating competition. And you slurp it right off the table.
That's the greatest thing.
It's so much fun. We had
Oh
such
my
a blast
God, that's
doing that
great.
growing up.
So
Yeah.
you still do that?
We haven't done it in years because so much of my family's moved and passed on.
Yeah, a lot
and
of my
whatnot.
family's old, and they think the teeth would fall out into the spaghetti.
Probably, and the traditions, they kind of like fall to the wayside sometimes as you get older because
Yeah.
of all of this. But,
Yeah.
Look, Aunt
you know.
Tessie lost her upper in the linguine.
But we should bring that back. You should do it with your family. So much
Well, we
fun.
kind of do that with crabs. We get the blue core crabs. We clean them out, throw them in the sauce, and we do that. And then we crack them over the table, and that's kind of all of a mess
Yeah.
on the table. But the macaroni's not on the table. That's wild.
No, it's a lot of fun.
That's
It's
fun.
fun.
And it's hilarious to watch. Everybody with sauce all over
Yeah,
their
my
face.
Uncle Angelo would show up and go, "Give me a bowl before I kill you."
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Well, one side of my family would go crazy because they'd be drunk before they did it. The other side would be like, "I ain't doing this." So, it's all about food. Food is happiness to me.
Yeah, me
Food
too.
doesn't disappoint. You know what I mean?
Never does.
So yeah,
It's
yeah,
always
it's
there
about
when you need it.
it's about that. You know what I mean? I try to keep upbeat. So it's about food and keeping yourself here. Because at this point in your life, we're the same age, right? I'm 54.
No, I'm going to be 60.
You're going to be 60. All right,
Yeah,
you'll see,
next
Nicole.
month.
When you get older, you get friends that start dying and stuff like that. You get a little bit depression that comes in.
Yeah.
So you want to hold on to your memories and look for those good things. And sometimes you just get into a little bit of a funk. Like, I fall into that, so you got to figure out ways to kind of get out of it. And you keep friends in your life that are positive towards keeping you positive.
Yes.
Because when you surround yourself by negative, because so many people are misguided. There's no connection to their soul. Now, not religion. I mean, I follow the teachings of Christ, and I'm a Christian. However, whether you're atheist or no matter what religion you are, if you can connect your mind to your soul, because everybody's got a Holy Spirit, even atheists and agnostics, there's a spirit inside that knows what's right and what's wrong and what's moral and what's not. But so many of us, equate money and things to happiness, that instead of going here, we go out there, and we look for things out there, and you're never going to get it. It's not there, it's here. You know? So that's where the deepness is. So I spend a lot of time, I don't know if you want to call it meditating or just pondering or whatever. I spend a lot of time trying to feed this connection. And it's short. You only got to go here. Here, you got to go out there. And in the chase of money and love and sex and whatever you're into, whatever vice you're into, you want to just please that because you think that'll make, most of us, all of us as humans think that'll make this better or this better, but it doesn't. And you just need more of that to try to feed this. But it's heroin. No matter how much you get, it's not going to feed this. So if this feeds this and then this feeds this, you go back and forth, then it turns into love, and you can give that to other people, whether it's food or doing something or just healing people and serving each other. You all right?
I love it. I love it. I just love what you're saying.
You're absolutely right, though.
We're only here for a little while to serve each other, and that's it. That's it. I'm lucky where I got chosen to be a comedian. Like when I die on the stone, I just want to say, I made him laugh. That's all I wanted to do. Fame doesn't come into it. I just got a chance to make them laugh on a local level, do clubs and do different things to make people laugh. If there's people that aren't known in show business, and there's the few that are really famous, but there's a huge gray area. I've been swimming in the gray area, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
I don't feel you've been in the gray area, though.
Really? Well, I'm not. I don't think I'm at a level. I'm not at a
you're in the darker shade of gray?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Sip. 1, 2, 3.
There are so many.
I want to swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. I'm sorry. A little freak out moment. I got that song in my head and I can't get it out.
It's one of those songs.
It's one of those songs.
It gets you.
I think that's time for
a commercial.
Yeah.
Chandelier is where we go to commercial? Can I sing us into commercial?
Yeah,
go ahead.
You throw, I'll sing. I want to swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier.
We'll be right back. You're watching the Gagootz Show on Madhouse TV.
Want to climb like a bird up in the sky, going really far up high. I don't know the words.
the Rehab Center located at 2025 Brentwood Road in Brentwood, New York. At the center, we offer chiropractic services, acupuncture, and physical therapy. We take most major medical, no-fault, and workers' comp insurance. If you need these types of services, contact the offices at 631-234-4949. That's 631-234-4949. Welcome to the Rehab Center located at 2025 Brentwood Road in Brentwood, New York. At the center, we offer chiropractic services, acupuncture, and physical therapy. We take most major medical, no-fault, and workers' comp insurance. If you need these types of services, contact the offices at 631-234-4949. That's 631-234-4949.
My kids hear about it, and they want the shit that you just bought for your little bastards. Stop it. Just say no. We can't even tell him no. I told my son no once. You know what he had to do? He had to Google it. He didn't know what the hell no meant. He was like, Siri, what does no mean? Siri, oh Siri. We don't tell him no, because we don't want to hear him cry. Kids don't cry like we cried. Remember you're a kid, you get whacked for doing something wrong, and like, shut up, we'll give you something to cry about. And you stopped crying. That's how scared you were. Think of that psychology. You were so scared, you stopped crying. That is some sick Nazi shit. Have you heard the kids cry now? It's evolved. They cry like they're shifting gears. They're like, my wife can handle it. My wife took my son to the Costco and he bought 14 pounds of Oreos. And by the way, saved us money somehow. I don't know how. Coupon Queen worked that out. But as far as Oreos are concerned, she got it over on net. She buys 14 pounds of Oreos, brings them home, puts them in a cabinet. Next day my son wakes up, he wants a cookie for breakfast. He's not going to go to her, he knows he's going to say no, so he comes to me. Now it's 6 o'clock in the morning, he's a little guy at the time. He's not going to approach me and go, Dad, I thought it over last night, I really like a cookie for breakfast. He's a little guy. He gets in my face and goes, I want a cookie! You're an intelligent man. Somebody looks at you and goes, I want a cookie! What do? You give him the goddamn cookie! He could have asked for crack! I said, come over here with the pipe! Let's get high and watch SpongeBob together! She went nuts on me! You can't give him a cookie for breakfast, you asshole! I can't give him one cookie, yet an hour later, she gave him waffles, butter, syrup, whipped cream, some strawberry shit from a can, and bacon, yet the one cookie that I gave him is going to ruin the metabolism. She created this kid's life, the little time he's on the planet, and my brother-in-law's a fucking asshole. That's got nothing to do with my act. I just needed to get that off my chest.
And we're back with our very special guest, Joey Kola.
Thank you for calling me very special.
Okay. So we just saw your video.
Yeah, I just did that at the Borgata in June. I was there over the summer. I do 2 or 3 weeks a year at the Borgata in Atlantic City. It's fun. I've been working there for years, for about 10 years, since my friend Ray Garvey got it, who used to have Pips in Brooklyn.
all right,
And he passed away. He had cancer. So I still work it. You know, Richie Minervini, who is one of my idols and mentors. He started the original East Side Comedy Club in Huntington years ago, which is where everybody got their start. Rosie O'Donnell and Eddie Murphy, and you hung in there too.
I used to go there all the time.
Yeah, it was great.
A lot of, like you said, people who were Don McHenry, who wound up writing some movies for Disney.
Yeah, Toy Story. Yep.
He wrote Toy Story and he wrote Hercules.
Yeah, you know what else? Dan O'Shannon, his name was. There's a guy named Dan O'Shannon, and this guy Anderson. I forget his first name, Anderson. But years ago, when I was a young comic, I said to these two guys, they were from Cleveland. I said to these two guys, "How do you get road work?" And I saw them do sets that night. They killed. And I said, how do you get work on the road? And just as I said that, Rick Messina was bartending, and he manages Tim Allen now. But this guy comes up to him and hands him a card from it was Clay Heary from the Comedy Factory outlet in Philadelphia, and handed to the guy, this guy Anderson, his card, and said, call me, I'll give you a couple dates, and gave it to Dan O'Shannon too. He said, that's what you do. You go on at different clubs, and people see you, and then they hand you a card, and that's how you do it. Word of mouth. There was no internet. There was no nothing. You had to go up, kill, and hopefully someone or a representative of another club was in the audience, and you would do. So they said to me, they saw my set that night. They said, why don't you come to Cleveland and work for a guy named Dino Vince? The Cleveland Comedy Club was the only comedy club in Cleveland. He said, it's a great club. It's an A club. We'll put a word in for you. So Scott Anderson, his name was. He put a word in for me. And then I wound up, he said, you just got to get here. And I said, well, I don't really have that much money. So this was like 1987. I had like a Nissan Sentra, an 85 Nissan Sentra. And I drove from Long Island to Cleveland. And I picked up some one-nighters all the way along through Pennsylvania. Scott Bruce, who booked a lot of stuff there, gave me some one-nighters. And I wound up, one night I didn't have enough money for a room, so I just pulled the car into a cornfield. And I shut the car off and fell asleep when the sun came up. Backed out of the cornfield and just went on to Cleveland. I did 5 minutes, 10 minutes for this guy Dino Vince, and he liked me. He said, come on back whenever you want. But at that point in the 80s, there was so much work around New York and Boston and Pennsylvania and Connecticut that I never made it back to do that. Now, Dan O'Shannon, who I met that night, went on to become a great big producer. Cheers, Frasier. If you Google him, Dan O'Shannon, he's like one of the biggest producers in Hollywood now. And we used to see everybody of that caliber come to the East Side Comedy Club.
What a
From Jackie Mason to Eddie Murphy, Rosie O'Donnell, Billy Crystal, Billy Joel used to be hanging out there all the time, and it was just the greatest.
It was.
I feel like I missed out on so much being my age now. Like I wish I was around and like had that time, because it's so different now. Everything is computerized. Everything is like diluted, and everything is like.
Yeah, but it's good in its own way.
It is, but
there were more
it's
comics
just a different
now,
experience. I think it would have been.
Yeah, well, there are more people calling themselves comics now.
Right.
Because it got stand-up comedy is so watered down now that anybody who could do an open mic and do 5 minutes calls themselves a stand-up comic. We are working stand-up comics. You pound the pavement like I do. You look for a show, look for a mic, look to get paid, get your name on a bill. Next show, next show. This club won't book me? Fine. I'm water. I go downstream just like I go around this rock, and boom, I'll work here, work there. Boom, boom, boom. All my friends worked the comic strip years ago, and Lucian Hold never passed me at the comic strip because he said we got enough Joeys and Vinnies and Vitos here, if you know what I mean. I said, okay, I'll work every other club. Then 8 years later, I'm doing my 4th Caroline's Comedy Hour, and he hands me his card. Joey, Lucian Hold from the comic strip. Love to have you come down. I went, I thought you had enough Joeys and Vitos and Vinnies here. Boom. Never did the comic strip, but I did, Caroline's, and I do Gotham now. I have a little bit of a presence in New York if I need it, but that's not where you make your money as a comic. People think, oh, I got to get in the city and I got to work the city and I'll become like an Amy Schumer or a CK or a Jay Oakerson, and I'll just keep doing the city, or I'll be Dave Attell. Well, those four, I just mentioned 4, but there's 4,000 that'll just do sets and never get anywhere, and they'll live in crappy little apartments for $2,000 a month and not live the life they want to live in, and time will pass. Time will pass. 10 years have got behind you. No one told you when to run. You never heard the starting gun. So, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. I break into song every once in a while.
I love that.
You turn that into a rap song, though. I like that.
You know what I mean? So people are waiting to be told to run. I'm moving to L.A. I'm going to be a star. How many of our friends had to move back? You know?
Oh, yeah.
You can't do it. So the thing is to be blessed with just making a living as a comic, which is where you do that is in the suburbs. There's 1 million suburban clubs and 1 million private parties and corporate gigs and things like that, and that's how I make my living.
Yeah.
I did the cruise ships for a little while. I do country club shows. I do club shows and stuff. If I need to go into New York City, or if you're an LA comic, you need to be in LA, then I guess you could do that every once in a while if there's an audition or whatever. But if you just want to do the gig, get the money, pay the electric bill, and you got to go out. You got to go out. You got to drive and get to it. You can't wait for somebody to look at my tape. Get to the club. Like you think to yourself, what club do I want to work? So I want to be spending time in there in the future getting paid. So let me start spending time there now without getting paid. Then the more time I spend there, the money will come along, you know?
So if there's a particular club that you want to work at, you'll
Yeah.
go there and just do a set?
I'll
or
go
you're
there.
telling comics?
I'll go there. I'll
Go
just
there.
go there. Yep. As a matter of fact, I'm working on a club in Boston now. I forget the name of it. I think it's called Laughs. I'm about to call the guy, and I'm going to be up in Boston a little bit. I'll say, let me stop in and do a set. Or let me come up there for free. You go for free, you know, and if they don't like it, thanks a lot, can't use you. Okay, fine. And you got to do that 1,000 times. Remember, a working comic gets 25 clubs twice a year. That's 50 weeks. And that's besides corporate shows, country club gigs, casinos, cruise ships.
But
you know?
someone like yourself, like, you would say, okay, somewhere in Boston, there's a club there you want to go. Let me come down and do 5 minutes. Like, are you you're at a point where you could say to somebody?
No. But not everybody knows who I am now.
Right.
I've been doing it 34 years, but a lot of people go, Joey who?
Yeah.
There are people that go, Joey who? They don't. Not a
But
people.
they give you. You say, I'll come for 5 minutes, and they, without knowing who you are, they give you the. They give you the time.
No, I explain who I am. I explain what I've done. I give them my resume, where I've worked, shows I've done. There's a nice piece of tape that I got on my website, you know. So, and even then they'll say, you know what? Maybe they'll think I'm too old or whatever. I'm not right for the room. That's fine. But there are enough places that are going to say yes.
Yeah.
Like one of the greatest clubs I've worked for my whole career, Comedy Cafe in Milwaukee. I was just on the phone with Roz Turner, who I knew for years. Her daughter now books it. And it just moved from the original room to another room in Milwaukee. Comedy Cabana, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. I'm going there next week.
You're going there next week?
Yeah,
I
I keep
saw
my
that on
favorite
your
ones.
website.
Magooby's in outside of Baltimore, in Timonium, Maryland, one of the greatest clubs in the country. And there's the Comedy Castle outside Detroit. There's a million of them. There's a million of them. And those clubs, if you get to know the owner and you play the game the right way, don't come in drugged up and drunk, and come in, make their audience laugh, because they need you, if you're a good comic, to make their audiences laugh. They want to, make their audiences laugh and get good food, good drinks, and have fun, So that's the main thing.
Yeah.
So.
Makes
But
sense to me.
you didn't luck out with this. You worked to become, you
Hard,
do studio warm-up. So you...
Well, that's a television studio warm-up. That's a
Television-
whole other thing. That's a whole other life. I live a double life.
Right,
Yeah.
but that's the life that really helps you pay...
That's I've been doing for 23 years.
Which, to
Stand
our
up for
viewers,
34.
Joey Kola opens up for Rachel Ray, warms up the crowd, which will be coming
Yeah.
back in September.
September 8th is when we start taping with Rachel Ray again, yeah. But I started out with the original Jon Stewart show, and then I went to the Rosie O'Donnell for 6 years, her show, and Martha Stewart for 7 years. And now I've been with Rachel Ray. This is going to be 4th year with Rachel Ray. And I've done a bunch of shows in between. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Marriage Ref, Living Up with Allie and Jack, a bunch of different shows.
How
The
did that
Apprentice family.
start? Like, where did you find that?
The original time Jon Stewart did the original show for Channel 9, WOR here in New York.
Oh, okay, it was
And
WOR 9. Yeah.
My manager was Jeff Sussman at the time, and I was doing a lot of city things at that point, as well as suburban rooms. And Jon Stewart's manager's sister was my agent at Abrams' agent, Ruth Ann Segunda, her name was. So they said, we need a warm-up guy. And I said, I'd love to try doing warm-up. So I was only with it for a year. It didn't last long in the show. But it was great working with Jon Stewart. He was still just a sweetheart, great guy, great comic and everything. So I was with him for a little while. And then when Rosie got the show, I was doing my spot on Letterman. It was June 13th, 1996. And Daniel Kellison, who was my producer for my Letterman spot, Rosie hired him to executive produce his show. So Zoe Friedman, Bud Friedman's daughter, became my producer on the Letterman show. Went over the set a few times. I got bumped like 8 times. One time for Moesha, whatever. Anyway, so I do my Letterman spot, and as we're walking out of the theater, Jeff's cell phone rings. He had the big cell phone at the time, that big gray thing, and it's Rosie and Daniel Kellison saying that we need a warm-up guy for the show. And the show started June 10th, and I said, well, aren't you using anybody now? They said, we used a few people, but they don't know what they're doing, and a couple of writers wanted to do it. So Rosie got on the phone with me, and she says, Joey, I want you to run the show like a comedy club. We're going to be shooting koosh balls and talking about candy and fun, and very Merv Griffin, very Mike Douglas, because I didn't want to be part of a show at that point like a Sally Jesse Raphael or a Phil Donahue where they're throwing chairs and Geraldo and all that. I said I want to be on a show that's fun. She says, Joey, it's going to be fun. I'm relying on you to help make it fun. So we have a band and everything, and it was great. We had, went on to, break a lot of barriers. No one was giving stuff to the audience before Rosie. No one was giving the audience food before Rosie. No one created the curtain that goes all the way around the studio where we can do Broadway shows. Nobody was putting full productions of Broadway shows on their show until Rosie. Rosie did it all.
How much time do you normally have before each show starts that you have with the audience?
Sometimes 10 or 15 minutes. Sometimes you're out there. Well, I'm out there the whole show, in the commercial breaks and everything, and it takes about 2 hours to shoot a Rachel Ray show. Hour and 45 to 2 hours. So I greet the audience down in the holding area, welcome them, tell them the ground rules, and then when we get up in the studio, they know me as a familiar face. I'm like, you guys ready to see Rachel? Yeah! And we get it going, big applause, open up the show, Rachel takes it from there, we go to commercial, and then I'm with the audience at the commercial break. Rachel comes over and says hello to the audience. I do a male dance contest sometimes, and she comes over and makes it rain, and it's just a lot of fun.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, because, when you do warm-up, I'm welcoming them to, it's not my house. I'm the butler. I'm the rodeo clown. I'm welcoming them to your house.
Right.
It's your show. When I do stand-up, now it's my house. It's my show. So I can say what I want and do what I want.
Do you want to warm up our audience for us?
Are you guys ready to see Benny and Nicole? Yeah!
No.
There's nobody there. There's nobody there.
How about you could sing us into another commercial break if you'd like.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, sip. Anyway.
All right. Well, we'll be right back. You're watching the Gagootz Show here.
Yes,
We're having a ton of fun here with Joey Kola. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Suck my stomach in a little bit.
Welcome to the Rehab Center located at 2025 Brentwood Road in Brentwood, New York. At the center, we offer chiropractic services, acupuncture, and physical therapy. We take most major medical, no-fault, and workers' comp insurance. If you need these types of services, contact the offices at 631-234-4949. That's 631-234-4949.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is me, GMC, in the place to be, the greatest MC in history. There will never be an MC greater than me. And right about now, the only place for you to be is with your one and only Madhouse TV.
You are the man.
we're back. Joey
We
Kola.
are. We're back. Where'd we go?
We were on a little break.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
Joey was
Welcome
swinging
back,
from the
everybody.
chandeliers.
You know, people, can they see this on the table?
I didn't pick it up. You
Yeah.
want to bring it?
This is a Gagootz. This is what you're named after.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's many jokes I can do about this, but I'm not. I'm just going to say, did you see David Wright last night? Boom.
Yeah, that's
Hit
right.
the home
Get out of
run.
the pot.
But you're
Yeah.
not a Met fan, are you?
I'm a Met fan, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were a Yankee
No,
fan.
no, I'm a
You're
Met fan. But this here, we sliced this up, little garlic and oil and some onions.
Is that
nice?
it?
Yeah, that's what
I
my
make a
wife is going
stew
to do.
out of it. I
do
make
you
a
really?
stew, yeah.
You can do anything
Well, you know,
with
that's
that.
yours.
Thank you
I'm
very
giving
much.
you that to take home.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
All right?
Is there seeds in it or not seeds?
Yeah, there's seeds.
There's going to be some seeds.
There's
We
no
gotta
such
get
thing
them.
as a seedless.
Yeah, I know.
Gagootz.
People say, oh, it's seedless, seedless. And how do you get them every year? I got my little tomatoes. You know what I do? My little cherry tomatoes, the little orange ones, and I smash a couple in a paper towel and I put them in an envelope and I save them every year. They're not seedless. Everything's got to have seeds.
I took these seeds. They're big, white. They're
Right.
like sunflower, but
Yeah.
rectangular. So I put them into a plastic baggie.
Yeah.
And I put them in and I left them on the table. And I didn't realize I'm playing. So what happened was I come home one day and my wife says, you got a lot of nerve. I'm really mad at you. You left a bag of roaches on the kitchen table because they got moldy and black and
Yeah,
they look
yeah.
like a bunch
Yeah,
of
you can't put them in plastic. You got to put them in paper, and they got
on
to get
paper
dry.
towel, right?
Yeah.
I know. What kind of Sicilian am I? You got to
Oh
put them
my
on.
God,
Sand 'em in the
Sicilian
bag.
am I?
And Nancy, she was so mad. I
Yeah.
didn't make you dinner. I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Here. She
Boom.
threw it at me.
Took the roaches.
And it's like, she says, these are, and I started laughing. I'm like, these are Gagootz seeds. Then she thought, then she was mad because of the fact that I was an idiot.
I'm gonna take the seeds from these and plant these things, man.
Do it up.
Do you get the flowers from it too? How big
Yeah,
are the flowers?
yeah,
Those
they
big
got
orange
beautiful flowers.
We cook the flowers.
White
up.
flowers, yeah. People
Oh, the
cook
white
them with
ones,
eggs
yeah.
and stuff,
Yeah, you
right?
could put ricotta cheese in there, and you put it in an egg, and you deep fry it. Eat the flowers with the cheese and the eggs.
And also the feeler part of the plant. That
I don't
part,
eat that part. Oh, really?
Deruna. They call it
The
something.
gardenia.
Well, you know.
Gardenia,
Yeah,
Yeah.
gardenia. And they cut that and they put that in pasta. There are people that like, she knows
Could
how
she
to.
be more Italian? Look at her. I feel like we're in Tuscany somewhere with her sitting there.
Hey. Well, you know, we have so much to go over in the
Yes.
next 15, 20
I lived
minutes
a hell
we
of a
got left.
life, didn't I?
You did, and we want to
34
hear
years
all
of
about
comedy,
it.
but I got so much going on.
Now, you want to tell us a little story about Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon is one of the greatest human beings on the planet as far as I'm concerned. Not only is he talented and a great impressionist and he's funny and just a great guy, but I'll tell you what happened. I was warming up the Rosie O'Donnell show on the 8th floor of 30 Rock and NBC, and he sees me in the hallway, and he goes, hey, Joey, how you doing? I said, hey, Jimmy, how's the show going? He goes, you don't remember me, do you? I said, you're Jimmy Fallon from Saturday Night Live. He goes, no, you don't remember me. You did me a big favor. And then he went on to tell me what had happened. And apparently, he had to remind me, because I've done this with a bunch of comics, but I didn't know he was one of them. At a comedy club called the Comedy Works up in Albany, used to be at the Comfort Inn right off the Thruway. Tom Nicky used to book it. Now his son does, because he went on to do other things, Big Tom. But I was headlining. There was two other comics, and this guy was managing the club. And Jimmy Fallon came in with his dad. And he said, hey, Mr. Kola, you mind if I do 5 minutes? I said, no problem at all. But the other two comics didn't want him to do it. And the manager said, we have no time. It's Saturday night. He can't come in here. He can't do it. I said, okay, fine. I said, you know what, Jimmy, hang out over here and just watch the show, and we'll see what happens. So he just sat there with his dad. He was like 17 years old. Well, the other two comics went up. I went up. I'm doing 45 minutes to an hour headlining. Middle of my act, I said, you know what, I got to go to the bathroom, but I have a friend here who's going to entertain you for 5 minutes while I'm in the bathroom. Jimmy Fallon, I bring him up. He's got a guitar and a little, one of those troll dolls, you know, and he does like 5 minutes, and he kind of bombs, you know, he doesn't do well, but I brought him up, and he was there with his dad, and it was adorable, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I caught some flack for doing it, but I did it anyway, because it's this kid's shot. He was a little kid, you know what I mean? He's there with his dad. It was adorable. Well, a year later, the same thing happened in Poughkeepsie at Bananas. And this time, Hall and Arlene Jameson, they let him go on, and I said, yeah, bring him up, and I'll bring him up in my act. Brought him up, and he did 5 minutes and everything, and that piece, I think, is actually on tape. I'm pretty sure it was the night, that was the night that I was there, but he's got himself on tape with the troll doll and everything. So he said, someday, because you did me those favors, I'm going to have a show, and I'm going to put you on my show. So I see him a couple years later at the Toronto Comedy Festival, and it's me, him, and Schimmel, and a bunch of us are all hanging out. And he goes, Joey, I'm telling you, I'm getting a show. I said, Jimmy, Get the show. You're a star. You're on Saturday Night Live. Just get the show. Sure enough, he got the show. He got the Late Late Show, and he said he called me, and he had his producer call me and said, Jimmy really wants you on the show. I said, well, what material? He said, Jimmy said, do whatever you want as long as it's television friendly. So April 10th, 2010. April 1st, 2010. I did the Jimmy Fallon Show.
That was his first episode?
No. It wasn't his first episode.
Oh.
It was when he invited me to come on and do the show. So I went on and I did it. He made good on his promise that he got a
That's
show.
awesome.
He was going to have me on the show. And it was great. And I still got the tape. And it's on my Facebook. Joey Kola, Kola, Facebook.com.
Yeah.
JoeyKola.com. Hello.
No, you.
At the Joey Kola Twitter.
It's a great website.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic. That's so cool.
Isn't
I
that a
They
great
take that to
story
his
how
word,
it came
you know?
around? Yeah.
I
And then-
taped that. That was you did the bit about the dog.
Yeah, the dog poop and everything. It
dog
was
poop,
great.
yeah.
And if you look in the back, there was a camera angle where he was standing up and clapping and bent over laughing. And when I got there, my wife and I were there, and before the show, he showed us around. He treated us like gold. And around the court, like on the floor where that show was, down one of the corridors, the hallway was where the original Muppet Show was with Jim Henson, and now it's a museum right in 30 Rock.
how cool is
And
that?
they knocked the wall down, and Jim Henson and all his puppeteers and his writers, they drew Muppets on the pipes. So now it's a museum, and he showed me all around through that. He also showed me where the original Tonight Show was with Johnny Carson before he went to L.A. and he really treated us. It was the great Jimmy Fallon. Was one of my favorite people on the planet.
That's
Just
awesome.
a really, really good guy.
You don't hear stories like that
No,
all the
no.
time, you know? Like people forget
Yeah.
where they come from.
Well, people
And-
think about people that screwed them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people tend to harp on that. I try to save the good stuff, keep the good stuff, and then go with that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was a blessing.
That's awesome.
you know?
Now, the last time that you were here,
Uh-huh.
you were talking about a movie that you weren't able to
Yeah.
discuss, but now you are. So let's hear all
Mhm.
about it.
It's called Gender Benders, and we gave the script to a bunch of people that wanted to give us some money for it, and then they wanted to own too much of it, and they wanted to change it around. So me and two of my partners, they're not comedians, they're actually cops. We said, you know what, we don't want any input on the script at all. We want to keep the creative to us, and we want to own the movie. So instead, we shot a sizzle reel, and now we're shopping it around. And basically, it's a movie that's kind of Hot Tub Time Machine, Hangover. These three guys get themselves in trouble, and they kind of lose their genitalia, and they spend the whole movie trying to get it back. And we're courting Gilbert Gottfried to play my gynecologist. And I talked to Susie Essman about it. Hopefully she'll be in it. We're looking to put comics in it. So we want to put a lot of good comedians in it. And hopefully we'll be able to shoot by springtime. You know,
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
local film. You know what I mean? It's a
Are there
low budget
auditions
independent
for it,
thing.
or you're?
We're gonna hold auditions. Yeah, we just filmed about 8 or 9 scenes for the sizzle reel. So we're gonna put that out first because there's a bunch of people that want to invest. So now at this point, my partners and I are just figuring out whose money we're gonna take and what we're gonna do with it, and then we're gonna cast it and then get ready to shoot it. Hopefully, we'll be shooting a lot of it here on Long Island.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And hopefully debut it at the Long Beach International Film Festival next year, the one they hold on the beach and everything, because Ingrid Krumholtz-Dodd is a good friend of mine, and she's one of the the originators of the festival. So,
Very cool. Best
Yeah.
of luck with
Thanks,
it.
Yeah.
thanks.
Will you
Best
let
of
me
luck.
know
Hey,
when there's
could-
auditions?
Of course I will. It might be nothing, it might be something, we'll see, but there's a lot of parts, so a lot.
Hey,
You have
I'll
to
come
cast
down.
hundreds of people, so. But it's
Awesome.
very, very funny. I can't tell you the whole thing now.
No,
It
no,
would take me too long, but it's very funny, and it's comedy by comedians, which is great. You know what I mean? Which is
What a
great. So,
concept, yeah.
it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, speaking of comedy and comedians,
Yeah.
you were talking about bits. Like, you have a.
Oh my God! Well, you know what? Most of my bits, as you know, because you and I used to write together back in the day. Benny and I used to write with Steve O, who's now Steve Oakes.
Right.
Who, by the way, his book
Did you
Mid
read the
Men.
book?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I read the book. I'm not all the way through it yet, but Mid Men. It's a great book. It's about men that are our age, middle-aged men, but it's very truthful. it's a cold, hard slap in the face about life coming at you because get to this point, then you're dead. But what happens to us, but he is so funny.
Is he,
Steve Oakes, his name is. Look him up. The book is Mid-Men. It's on Amazon. It's one of the top books on Amazon now. But Steve and you and I and Melvin George and a bunch of comics used to write together. And it's always great when you write a bit or something happens to you and you can go right to the stage with it and it kills first time out. Very, very rare, but that happened to me the other night because I was talking about a bit where there's a local gas station to my house. It's called, I won't tell you what it is, but there's an Indian guy, there's a shock, who works there. And that's where I get my propane tank for my barbecue changed out, you know. And that's kind of behind the gas station and on the right, you know. So I pay the guy and I bring my tank back into the cage, you know, he's going to switch it out. And there's like a little grassy area behind the garage, behind the gas station. So I said to the guy, look, a bunny, a rabbit. Look, I get excited when I see rabbits. I could be riding in the parkway and I'm like, oh, a rabbit! I get excited. I love them. I love bunnies. I love rabbits. So I go, look, a bunny. So without skipping a beat, he goes, too many bunnies. We got too many bunnies. Too many bunnies. And I'm thinking, how many? It's too many bunnies. I mean, there can never be enough bunnies. Like, there could have been 1,000 bunnies there, and I would have went, this is the greatest thing.
Look at all these bunnies!
Do you see look at all the bunnies! This is the greatest thing. This is like a bunny. It's a bunny. It's a crowd of bunnies.
It's a Disney movie in itself.
Too many bunnies. We have too many bunnies. I go, how many is too many? 3, 4? Like, at one point did he go, oh, there's 2 bunnies. 3 bunnies. I can't handle this. This 4 bunnies. This is out of hand now. He said, like, what? How could what went so wrong in your life that you would say there's too many bunnies? You know what I mean? It's like it's like saying I keep hitting the lottery now. Let's stop. You know what I mean? A bunny is not something there's too many of. There can never be too many bunnies. What would it do? What would it clog up? What would
It might make the gardeners mad if
maybe. Or well, lose a carrot. Or what? You lose an eggplant. Big deal. You lose a Gagootz.
They like baby fig trees.
Do they really?
Yeah, because
so you know too many bunnies.
Too many bunnies. I agree with that guy. Too many bunnies. No, one year we had a whole bunch of them in my backyard, and they were
really
cool. But then it was the one year because if you have fig trees, the baby fig trees always grow. They always shoot up. The one year I would see them, the next day they were gone. And then I'd see these little, like little son of a bitch.
So that's what I got to do. I got to plant baby fig trees to get too many bunnies. I want many, many bunnies. Many bunnies. I love doing that accent because it's a friendly accent. It's not harsh. It's not, I don't mean anything by it. But it's so friendly. Like my priest is Indian. So he goes, Buddy Christ. And I'm like, buddy. All I heard was buddy. I didn't hear body. I heard buddy. Buddy Christ. Buddy. I'm like, yeah, I'm your buddy. Put it in my hand and put it in my mouth. Let's get this going. Buddy. But that's comedy that comes out of good. There's good comedy that comes out of anger. Most comedy comes out of anger. Like when I see
with
people.
You, it comes out of anger.
When people slow me down, I don't like to be slowed down by other people. Everybody's got to realize. I'm looking right in the camera here. There's people behind you. Okay, no matter what you are, at the bank, at the gas station. You know what really gets me angry? When nobody has Easy Pass. Why in this day and age don't you have Easy Pass? When I come over to Throgs Neck Bridge and all 5 lanes are jammed up until you get 3/4 of the way over and it's everybody trying to get over because they don't have the Easy Pass. Why don't you have it? Get Easy Pass. It's easypass.com or whatever. Just get it. It's free. They charge you. Give them a credit card and they just charge your credit card. But the thing is, in your car, you can go over any bridge in the country. People, any bridge in the country. Just get Easy Pass. And there can never be too many bunnies.
And it's
bunnies
cheaper.
And butterflies.
Isn't it cheaper with Easy Pass?
It's cheaper with Easy Pass.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. They give you a discount. Every 10 rides is free or something like that.
I got to get an Easy Pass.
You don't have Easy Pass?
Oh, no!
What are you crazy? Get it.
You know why?
It broke it. What's up, Doc? Here we are right now. Why, you got to get Easy Pass. Now I have 2 Gagootzes. Oh, look, there's very little seeds.
No, but
it smells so good.
the big ones are in there.
Oh, it's sweet, too. This is the inside of the Gagootz, everybody. See that?
But the seeds are in that foam.
In the big part. This part here. You can tell. It's knocking back.
Like a watermelon.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
You got to get Easy Pass.
I will. You know what it is? I have a lease in my car, so where am I going right now?
Oh, my God.
I can't
you see
wait.
that? Can we play that back? I have a lease.
I have a lease in my car.
What is I have a lease? I got no lease. I don't give a crap.
She reminds
No, it
me
doesn't matter.
She reminds me of the
It doesn't
girls
matter.
in
You
your
gotta-
bit.
Yeah.
The girl in your bit doing
over here.
doing a makeup while
yeah.
driving.
Go! I can't believe you're driving so slow. Get out of here.
It's my Long Island girls, which I talk about being my wife and my daughter, but, you know.
We have to take a quick commercial
We
break,
do?
and then we'll be back.
Let's fry
to
this
wrap
thing
it
up in the
And we'll fry
meantime.
this up in the meantime.
1, 2, 3.
You're
1,
watching
2,
the
3,
Gagootz
6.
Show with Joey Kola and Nicola Monaco on MadhouseTV.com.
Woohoo! Hold on.
Stretching under sedation or manipulation under anesthesia is a very gentle, very precise procedure to very slowly release any scar tissue that is formed as a result of a traumatic injury. Many people ask, how does this work? Will I get hurt? Will you stretch me too far? We only stretch the body part to its normal range of motion. After completing the post-MUA rehabilitation program, it's very common that our patients say to us, hey, I can play ball with my kid again. Hey, I can bowl again. Hey, I can enjoy hiking again. This is what makes it rewarding to us as practitioners.
What are you looking for? You don't even know that. You're on the ball list, so you can't even answer. I'm asking you about it. You gotta be highly skilled. You gotta be highly skilled. You understand that? Are you well versed there? Are you very smart man? Hit me with some funny shit. My shit's twisted. Tell me something. Tell me something.
What do you have right there?
That's awesome.
Well,
that's a big.
That's nice.
You know damn well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's
Sir. Hey, are you interested in
Twisted
not?
talent.
Yes, I am. Sure.
See, you got twisted. That's twisted. That's talent.
You see what I'm saying? You understand me? And if you can't whip out answers like that, that man is liable to during a commercial break punch your fucking mouth loose. You understand me? Time is up, sir. You understand me? You're on. You're the man. All right, give me your name now. I'm sorry.
My name is Willie.
Willie, where you working at?
We are twisted. We are awesome. Awesome. Love it.
Can you repeat that question again?
And we're back.
Here we
go.
Here we go. Coming back, all ears. All ears are coming back.
All ears.
All
the
y'all.
cameras on
Thank you, Tom.
on all you alls. We're taking big.
Oh, y'all.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Everybody go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I never get tired of seeing
ahead.
you.
Thanks.
I never do.
Me either.
Thank you. I've done a lot of bits, a lot of memorable bits that I've done over the years. So.
But you never take a bit and like shelve it. Do you ever say I've been doing this?
I've shelved the painter bit. Remember the painter
Yeah,
guy?
with the spat.
Bob Ross and all of
yeah.
that. I shelved it because it was a little bit politically incorrect, but I got a lot of people asking for it now, so maybe I might bring that back. That was in the '80s. That was like a signature bit. Kinnison came to see me in Vegas just to see that bit.
Really?
Yeah, because it was Howard Stern's favorite bit. And he told me that many times. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I take this guy, Bob Ross, the painter guy. He has a flash. Yeah, he has a flashback.
Oh, what a bit.
He flips out and he's in Nam. He thinks he's in Nam. So he's blowing up the people, His little Agent Orange, a little bit of Napalm Brown. He's blowing everybody up. And I think if you Google it, you can find that bit somewhere.
I'm gonna.
It's hilarious.
I'm totally going to do
The
that.
And like
painter
the
bit.
spackle. The
Spackle bit, I kind of stopped doing that one for a while. My new signature bits are the cat noise thing. Matter of fact, Seinfeld came up to me when I was doing it in the warm-up of Marriage Ref, and he goes, "Man, does that bit kill every time?" I do my cat noise. It always ends like that. Nothing good ever comes out of a cat. You ever notice that? It's that noise. It sounds like they're talking to you. Let go, my ego. Let it go. Let it go. Like they're singing Adam Levine. I want to move like Jagger. I want to move like Jagger. I want to move like Jagger. It always ends like that.
So about that bass. That bass. No treble.
Too many bunnies. There's too many bunnies in this world.
Listen, we only have a couple of minutes left.
No, we don't. We're going to do 2 hours today.
We should. I wish we could.
I'll come back again. We'll come
Yes.
back.
You got to come back.
I'm bringing fresh mozzarella and cannolis next time.
Please.
right.
Yeah,
please.
like the mozzarella's going to be hot.
All
Okay.
right. What do you have coming up?
Governor's Comedy Shop, Comedy Club, November 21st in Levittown. That's it on Long Island pretty much. I got, that's it for a while.
And go to your website.
Go to my website. Everything will be there. If
Or
things pop up, it'll be on my website, joeykola.com.
Awesome.
Nicole?
I have a show tomorrow at Stand Up New York on the Character Flawed night of the week. It's Wednesday, 8 o'clock. And I have a show this Saturday coming up with Tracy Carnazzo, hashtag comedy. You go to my Facebook, NicoleMarieLamonaco.com, check it out, and see me there.
All right. I have a show September 17th in Staten Island at the Jade Asian Bistro. And I'll be there with, it's hosted by Pauline Herveau, very funny woman, great lady. Thank you for booking me. And, and I'm going to be in Cankersaws, which we have showed on here. It's
Cankersaws?
Don Sill. You remember Don Sill, the radio guy?
Yeah.
He has a
He's from Connecticut, that
he has
guy.
a web series, and it's about these two white rappers who they had a hit song many years ago, and now they're on the comeback of the white rap. So they call themselves the Cankersaws. They're going to be coming to Long Island in October, filming a new episode, and I will be in it. And we're trying to get Nicole in it. And
Nice.
if Joey's free, he would love, he loves you.
Hey, I'm a canker, and I can be sore.
I'm going to, so thank you all for watching. That's a great show.
Thank
Joey,
you.
Thank you for having
always,
me, you guys.
always
Thank
great.
you, thank you, thank you
We'll
for
see you
having
guys next week. Thank
See
you
you
for
next
tuning
week.
in.
Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, guys. Man, that went quick.
It did. It goes quick.